everyone, and thank you for tuning into Kentucky Good Vibes. I'm DISHAYNA Perkins, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Matthew T. Burney. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I see you do a little bit of everything, like dancing,
Yeah,
poetry,
yeah,
acting. Let's see what else
yeah.
I forgot.
The
You
list
was
goes on.
teaching. You do choreography, of course, as part of dancing. What else do you do?
Yeah, so first off, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're
But
welcome.
yeah, my name is Matthew T. Burney. I am an actor, I'm a
Hmm.
poet, dancer, playwright. I started doing choreography, so I'm teaching dance. I'm fresh into dance, like a year in, but I'm
Hmm.
having the opportunities to teach, which I'm really grateful for. I teach workshops with poetry, with acting as well. That's really my heart. I went to school for acting,
Okay.
so that's what I'm mostly trained in. I'm also a model, which I actually just found out my pictures are being floating around in this city, which I'm really grateful for.
Okay.
But yeah, I just love art. I love art. I love people. I love God. I love all things creativity, vulnerability, which I'm rebranding. I'm trying to have everything I do fall under the umbrella of vulnerability within creativity, because I think
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of things that we don't talk about within creativity, creatives that we deal with. And
Hmm.
I want to like spark conversations to help us navigate through different things. So I think that's important. But to answer your question, I do a lot of things. So
Yes, you
it's hard
do.
to put
Yes,
myself
you
in a
do.
box of one thing.
Yes,
I
you
love the
do.
performing arts. I'm really artistic. That a artistic director. That's really who I am. I
Okay.
love all things.
Okay. So
So
tell us how you got started with all of these many hats that you wear.
that's a hard question because it depends on the certain area.
Uh-huh.
As far as poetry, how I started with poetry, I was writing poetry since I was a child. And then one day I my mom's gonna find out, but I left one of my poems out for my mom to read on purpose because I was that kid that it was hard for me to express how I feel or what's going on with me through words. And writing has always been my outlet, always been a way I can get everything that I want to say out. So one day I went to school, I left the poem out. I knew my mom was gonna look at it. She found it. But I've been writing since I was a child. And in 2018, I believe, that's when I finally gained the courage to share poetry publicly,
Hmm.
because I used to look at P4CM. I forgot what it stands for, but it was one of the biggest poetry events in the country, a Christian-based poetry event. And I always looked at their things on YouTube, and I always was inspired, always wanted to do that, but I was scared, stayed to myself because I'm like, this is a new form. I don't know if I'm going to be
Yeah.
accepted in it. And then one day
Hmm.
I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I will never know unless I do it. And in 2018, I did it, and it was very impactful.
You
And
did
then from that moment, I'm
it.
like, this is more than just poetry. This
Hmm.
is something that I'm called to do,
Yeah.
to share and bring light to certain things, help people navigate whatever they're going through arts, through poetry. And in doing that, one thing led to another. I had a videographer record me doing one of my poems. It gained a lot of traction on YouTube. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
what's going on here? This is something new, but it's gaining a lot of traction. And a lot of people started to know me as a poet, which they didn't know I was an actor before I came out to be a poet. But
Hmm.
I just went with it because it was a lot easier to be an individual artist in poetry than an actor, because you have to worry about being in a production for a few months, working with other people, all these different
Hmm.
things that go on behind the scenes. It's just easier as a poet to up, leave, do, come back home, get paid, whatever have you. I'm
Yeah.
good. Um, but then at some point, I was like, I miss acting. So I went to school for acting. I'm not sure if I said that on here,
Yes, you did.
but I went to school for acting, and I took a few years off of acting because, like I said, in 2018, I started to become known as a poet.
Hmm.
So I kind of stepped away from it. But a few years ago, last year, I think it was, I started to get really frustrated with myself, with everything, because I was wondering, like, why am I not doing anything for myself? because we were working together. I was doing so much for other people. I was doing so much for children. I was doing so much for other people's visions that I was not doing for myself. And then from there, that's when I made connections. I reached out, I made phone calls, I started talking to people, I started doing what I had to do to get back into acting. And now I'm just going at it. I'm doing shows after that sometimes. Yeah, it's a lot. Like I'm really.
I see your presence on social media for sure.
Yeah. So it's
do some dance moves right now. No, this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So like anybody out there that may be like wondering if there is a place for you, there's definitely a place for you. You just have to put your best foot forward. You have to make connections, put yourself out there. I'm in my own little bubble a lot of times. I don't like reaching out to people. I don't like making connections. I don't like calling people, stuff like that. But I had to come out of that bubble to be able to be who I want to be in life. So I feel like I went in circles a lot. But
so what has been your biggest like inspiration? Like who has been your biggest inspiration thus far?
There's so many. As far as acting, one of my biggest inspirations, I have a few. Taraji P. Henson, I love her. Taraji P. Henson, Will Smith, Denzel Washington. Who else?
Your twin. When I first met you, who did I say?
Oh, Prince. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. But yeah, as far as acting, those are some of my inspirations. As far as poetry, Ezekiel Osamu, I think that's how you say his last name. He's a poet. There's a few others. I'm drawing a blank right now, but those are some of my inspirations.
Okay.
And as far as like a theater company and stuff like that, Tyler Perry, because a lot of things that he does, I want to do. He does a lot of funny things with like a little bit of serious. Mine's going to be the opposite, a lot of serious things, working through that with like little funny moments. So if I can just pick his mind one day, figure out like, I would love that.
Yeah, I've seen you in action. We work together.
Yes.
And I mean, you're a great director, choreographer. Like I've seen you in action, and I give you your flowers. Here you go.
Because I don't get it much.
You definitely do your thing, like for real. That's why I was like, I have to get him on my show because he has so much talent, and the world needs to know for sure.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Because it's because being a creative, being in performing arts, a lot of times you feel like you're looked over, you're not appreciated, you're not valued. You're given a lot just freely, and you're not even given a thank you or like I appreciate you. So for you to do that, that means a lot. Because I don't get that a lot at all. So thank you.
Hey, look, we're on the same page.
Yes.
But it's okay. It's okay. We gotta keep moving. Gotta move moving right along. My mom and my grandmother always told me, you know, the people that's supposed to show up is those that show up. You know, the show must go on regardless. If it's one person that shows up for you, or two people, or a crowd of people, those are your people. So
absolutely,
you know, that's what I go by. You know, it took me a while to figure that out, but that's what I go by now. You know, because it bothered me back then, but now I'm like, okay, well, if 5 people shows up to my event, cool.
Yeah,
you know, these are my people.
Even with that, I've learned to like learn and understand where people are, because some people, they do support, but they support in their own way. Some people will support quietly. They won't say anything, but they will look at every single one of your things. They will, in their heart, they will be really proud of you, but they will never ever say it. And then you have those people that I really love that are in your face, like I'm proud of you, I see you, like you're doing a great job. They'll be at your thing. So I've learned that support is different for everybody. For me, I know I appreciate those people that are going to actually verbally say how they feel, because I won't know unless you say something. But it also helps us as creatives want to continue. We want to keep going. It's not because we need that or we crave it. It's just, it makes us feel good, makes us feel appreciated. And when you feel appreciated, you're going to continue. So
are you currently working on any new projects?
Yeah.
Of course. Why did I ask that question?
So much going on.
Yeah.
So I'm actually working on a show right now when Tragedy Strikes.
Cool.
So we are actually going to be in Nashville very soon. We premiere our show in Nashville. And then we're going on a tour next year. So I'm really excited for that, going all around. So it's my first time ever going on a tour. So I'm really grateful, really excited to be with that production. I'm very honored to be with that. As far as everything else, I'm starting to teach as well, as I said earlier, in my dance journey, which I'm really grateful for. Dance has literally been a safe space for me. I found in a very dark place and it helped me work through some things, just gave me an outlet, a healthy outlet, and really helped me learn about myself and how I want to move and articulate things. And I appreciate dance because it's one of those art forms that you don't ever have to open your mouth to say anything, but you're speaking with your body. And I love that. You're telling stories with your body. So I'm doing that. There's also something that I have not really told many people. I think I told you. Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, you've told me quite a few things.
My own play that I'm working on.
Yeah.
That I wrote in
How's that going? Because we was both working on one and we was, kind of sharing. How's yours going?
So I reached out. So I have a stage manager, I have a musical director. I had a meeting with them and everything like that. I'm just trying to figure out the next step because I don't believe I'm ready to host auditions yet. I want to make sure that it's super prepared. I don't know if things happen.
Yeah.
But I want to do my part and be prepared before even having other people on it. So I wrote it in 2018 and I revamped it and renewed it last year. And I'm really excited for that. It's my baby. It's definitely my baby.
Definitely. Because we was in that one room that day, and we was learning how to use the lighting and hey, DISHAYNA, what about this? Okay, put the light on me right there when I go.
Yeah.
It was like we was learning. So if you need somebody to be your stage, the lighting and stuff, I'm your girl. Look, we was teaching each other.
I need that.
I know how to use it.
Flo actually. Hi, Flo, if you're watching this. She's actually my stage manager too. So
nice,
you'll have two people that you know already a part of it. So
yeah, definitely.
But yeah. I'm working on those things. I'm in another show that I'm actually going to be jumping in right after I get back from Nashville on October 6th. So there's always something going on in my life. I'm extremely grateful for it. I thank God because honestly, these doors just open and present itself. These things, I didn't audition for anything. People are looking for me or asking me to be a part of things, which I'm I really preach, and I'm a big advocate on stewarding opportunities and treating people well and bringing your best self to projects because people are going to remember that and they're going to want to work with you again. So all these opportunities that I'm getting is because of word of mouth, because people want to work with me, because they know I'm a hard worker, I'm a team player, I don't cause any issues and stuff like that. So I'm really big on that, treating people properly, because you never know, the next person may be your boss that you're working with. You never know.
That's right.
So
okay, so given the opportunity, if you had the opportunity to create your own showcase, from headlining to opening act, who would you showcase, celebrity wise or whoever?
That is hard. But I will say
everybody always said they're like, wow.
I will say though, because how my mind works, I'm not just one thing. I would love to incorporate every different area of the arts in a showcase. So as far as poetry, acting, dancing, singing, step, all of it. Who do I want to be a part of it though?
Yeah. Every time I ask someone that question, they're like, whoa, ooh, that's a good question.
Because I looked at this is one of the questions I was like, I don't know how to answer this. But okay, I would think about it though. So I'm weird, so I would definitely want Taraji. I know it's a showcase, so usually acting is not a showcase, but how I am, I love to creatively have different segments and work on transitions and make it all intertwine. I just did a show at the job I'm at now with my students where we did a showcase with a compilation of monologues and dances, but I creatively did it in a way that told a story from beginning to end, even though none of them really worked it will just, that's how my mind works.
Yeah.
I'm talking so I can stall. So Taraji, I'll
Yeah.
have her. I will have, let's be different. I'll have Adele.
Okay.
Adele. Let's do different. People that you wouldn't really think together. I'll have Adele as a singer. I'll have Ezekiel as a poet. And who's a dancer?
Me. No, I'm just playing.
I'll have you as a singer.
You be like, you lied on your resume.
You can sing.
Yeah, that's it. But I can't dance. I want to learn how to dance though. Like seriously, I got, you know, rhythm.
Yeah.
But I tried to do a Zumba class.
I actually I built a dance studio in my apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if I told you that I was thinking about it, but yeah, it's like literally right here. It's really big. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you actually. Yeah, it's there.
Oh, you put mirrors?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
There.
I'm gonna need you to, when I move, to put some new mirrors. Because that's exactly what I wanted, a whole wall of mirrors.
Yeah. Do you?
Like for real, where'd you get those mirrors? Like this is off the subject.
So no, it's all good. It's your show. I actually got them off the Facebook Market.
Really?
So I learned from my mama to find a sale, find anything on clearance. You don't do the full price unless you have to. So I was creatively trying to think of ways to do it. So for anybody that may be looking to create a dance studio, try not to look at dance mirrors, but look at like big vanity mirrors or dressing room mirrors. They're all the same. They're just called something different, but they're a lot cheaper. So I bought these on the Facebook Market. They're actually $25 a piece.
Wow,
that's unheard of. Do
they got more?
They might. I'll reach out to the guy, but I like these are the biggest mirrors that I looked at for the cheapest, and like $25 for a mirror is unheard of. Usually these are a few $100s. Of this size, like they're 60 inches tall, 38 inches. Like these are big mirrors. So yeah, I got them on Facebook Market. He brought them to me and everything. So
we're gonna talk after this interview.
Yeah, we'll talk.
You're gonna redirect me to where you get them.
Yeah. So anybody lives in Kentucky and you want a private with me, I got a dance for you.
Okay, so what is something that you would tell your younger self that you know now that you didn't know then?
Yeah, I would tell my younger self to believe in yourself, to know that everything serves a purpose, everything happens in the right time, and you cannot force anything to happen before its time because it won't work. So be patient. Learn through the mistakes, learn through the lessons. Don't look at every lesson, everything that happens as negative, but it's always a lesson that's always good, even in the bad. Because I've been through a lot of things, even in the last 2 years, but when I really sat back, matured, and looked at it, I've grown a lot from it. I've learned a lot from it. Even through like things that we both been through, whatever, like I've learned so much from it, you know. But like read between the lines. But I've learned so much through my experiences. So just give yourself grace and make a lane for yourself. Create a lane for yourself. It's actually something that God was telling me because I was frustrated for so long. And he was telling me that, listen, you want this, but maybe you just need to create it for yourself. So that's what I've been doing, creating lanes for myself. Even at my job, I didn't know why I was there. I don't know why I felt so much peace there. I just knew that's where I needed to be. And at some point, like maybe a few days into my working there, I asked my boss, I already knew the answer, but I asked my boss, do you guys have a performing arts program here? She said, no. I said, well, you know, I have a degree in acting and stuff like that. You know, I do this, right? She said, yeah, I know. And I asked her, would you be open for me to build something from nothing here? She said, absolutely. Put together a plan and let's see it happen. So that's what I did. I put together a plan and now
everything worked out.
Yeah. So now it makes sense. Like that's why I'm here, because it's so open to a lot of things. And we literally have built a children's theater from nothing, and I'm over all of it.
Nice.
So I have a lot to say. Yeah. So yeah.
So
Create
Yeah.
a version for yourself. If you don't see it, maybe it's because you're supposed to create it. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's what, that's something that I was always told as well is, don't sit around and wait for people to do stuff for you. Just do it.
Yeah.
Like you said, create the name for yourself. And, some people live in their family name or legacy or whatever, but everyone really wants their own identity at the end of the day,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, nobody wants to be like, oh, that's so-and-so's sister or that's so-and-so's cousin, like, no, I'm Shayna P.
Absolutely.
I got my own identity, oh,
Absolutely.
ain't that Brandy's brother?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So everybody wants their true own identity, and I firmly believe in what you just said for sure.
Thank you.
So what's something that you would tell your future self?
I would tell my future self to don't forget the prayers that you prayed years ago.
Yes.
Remember that you're literally living in the manifestation of prayers that you may have forgotten about.
I tell people that all the time.
Yeah. Because I think so many times we're asking for so many things. We want desire so many things. We're human. That's part of our nature. But we forget that we're actually living in things that we used to dream of. So live in the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, be future minded, have these goals, dreams, desires, everything like that. But be content in all things. Like, be happy that you've made it this far. Like, what if you never see your dreams happen? Will you still be okay? Will you still create art? Will you still do all the things that you love to do? Or are you doing it because you're trying to get somewhere? Because we're already trying to get to at the end of the day. Because I believe we're always supposed to be growing, evolving, becoming something better. So if we're trying to get to a certain place and we get there, that's the cap. So I like to just keep my mind open, like, I'm just going on the journey. It's a journey.
Yeah. So you know how like sometimes you'll look back and be like, I really wanted this car back in the day.
Yeah.
And then you get it. And then a few months later, you're like, I shouldn't have got this car. But you prayed for that car. Absolutely. And now you didn't pray like that you will never have car problems. You would never have this issue, or the burden of having huge car payments and insurance and stuff, so I was always taught to be careful what you pray for.
Absolutely.
Because you'll get it, but you didn't ask for everything to be lined up. You just pray for that car and not for the things that come along with that car or that house or whatever it is that you're praying for. So
and like going off of what you said, like sometimes things happen and hit our life because we prayed or we asked for whatever. Like sometimes we say like, I want this, that, and the other, all these big just like goals, dreams, and then we don't realize all the things we have to go through, good and bad, to get there. And then we wonder like, why am I here? What's going on? Why is this happening to me? Like, oh, I prayed this. This is me. So, and it takes a mature person to be like, okay, this is happening right now, but I'm going to sit in it and I'm going to learn everything I have to. I'm not going to pray for whatever to pass from me, whatever to like be lifted from me, but I'm going to pray like, God, allow me to learn everything I need to learn in this so I don't have to repeat it. Because sometimes we repeat things just because we don't learn whatever lesson we have to learn. So it repeats itself with different people, different jobs, different scenarios, whatever, because we didn't learn the lesson. So
and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I haven't like did interviews in a while. And so I'm just now getting started back up. But the devil tried it. He tried it. Because last night I was getting everything together, got all my interview questions together and getting everything prepped and the laptop, and all of a sudden my laptop crashed and it would not cut back on. And then my lighting, right now my lighting is not good, but the show must go on,
Absolutely.
To me, I'm a perfectionist, but sometimes we can't be we're not perfect, but we can't be the perfectionist that we want to be because life happens. And so I had to rush out before this interview earlier today. I had one before you. I had to rush out and go purchase another laptop, download all the stuff I needed on there. It was like a process. And so I didn't get to do my hair, and I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. And like I said, the lighting, the backdrop, I didn't get to hang my backdrop like I wanted to. I have a different backdrop. So it's like I prayed for everything to get started back up, but I didn't pray for it to run smooth. And, you know, my point is life happens, but the show must go on, you know. So that's my point, you know. Even though the lighting's not good, hey, I still got a laptop, you know. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. So, you know, at first I was like, I'm going to cancel. I'm just going to do it tomorrow when I get everything right. Like, no. I'm just going to, this is natural. You know, this is life.
And it's like a great message to anybody that may be watching this, like, just get started. Even if you just have a camera on your phone, if you just have the actual lights that came in, like, just get started. Because everybody starts somewhere. You can't just not everybody starts from like the best equipment, all the resources, stuff like that. Some people, they do like, they're raised into people that have been doing this. But some other people, they start from scratch. They don't have anybody to help them. They don't have anybody to look up to outside of like celebrities or people they don't personally know. But just get started. Yeah. You never know. You may have something to say that somebody needs for their next. You may be. I think a lot of people are answers in the world. We have that somebody else needs, and the moment that we close our mouths, we don't speak, we don't say anything, like we're doing ourselves and somebody else a disservice. So just get started. Yep. No matter where you are.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, and those are some good answers with everything you said. we definitely can relate because, you know, when we worked together, we was like, you feel me? You be like, I feel you. You know, it was like everything. We was on the same page. But is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up?
My neighbors are talking. Sorry.
What'd you say?
My neighbors were passing by.
Okay.
I would say to enjoy the journey. Take it one day at a time. Okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Get back up. Try again. Sometimes we don't need to change our ideas, but our approach of how we're trying to get the outcome that we're trying to get. It's an ongoing journey. Sometimes you have really high days, really low days, in the middle where you don't really have anything going on. It's a life of creative. Doesn't mean that you're bad, that nobody wants to work with you, whatever. Like somebody else's perspective or viewpoint or whatever does not discredit who you are. Yes. Like it doesn't matter what they think. You just may not be what they're looking for, but that does not mean you're not valuable. So keep going, don't stop, and you got this, because it's something that if you literally just go from where you are now to where you want to be, like I said, where you're trying to go. But if you go from here to there and there's no in between, you're not going to appreciate when you actually get what you get because you did not go through the journey. Yeah. Your journey is your journey. My journey is my journey. We all have one that we have to go on, no matter who you are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And how can people get in contact with you? Social media handles, anything like that?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Matthew T. Burney _ Matthew T. Burney _ my old one got hacked, so I have to do an underscore now. Okay. My Facebook is Matthew T. Burney. What else do I have? I believe those are my two biggest ones. My email is MatthewBstudios3@gmail.com. It just stands for Matthew Burney Studios. That's my business that I'm revamping. Is that it? I believe that's it. My YouTube's also Matthew T. Burney. Okay. Is Matthew Burney or Matthew T? Matthew T. Burney. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with me here at Kentucky Good Vibes.
And I would definitely follow up in the future, Mr. Matthew.
Yes, and I want to work with you again because
absolutely. You still got to do some choreography. Show me some choreography for my video that I'm planning on doing. You know, my music.
Because before I wasn't as confident, but now I'm a lot more confident in my choreography stuff. So yeah, I got you.
And I have a showcase coming up next month in October. So we'll talk about that after the show.
Okay.
And I definitely want you to be a part of that.
I got you.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. I really had a good time.
Thank you.